I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Mate, there's been some quotes that I've been thinking about. Success is not a good teacher. Failure makes you humble. Failure is not fatal, but failure to change might be. A setback is a setup for a comeback. But the thing that I've been thinking about more than most is this. Ned's, I'm a married man. You shouldn't be fucking me like this. We got fucked up yesterday.
We got fucking rolled.
And by virtue, so did the punters and the drifters that joined our hosted pod. Holy fuck. I was texting you yesterday. The writing was on the wall a long way from home. And then it actually, by the end, it actually got worse. Could you actually believe that? But I reckon we're like close to... I reckon our last winning bet in the pots is Sir Delius in the Underwood. And he was like $2. Not good, mate. Not good.
It is diabolical behaviour from us. Like, honestly, there's allegations and accusations from the drifters / punters that we are indeed literally taking the piss and are on the payroll. And do you know what? Based on our performance, those could be justified accusations. They could be justified.
Fuck.
Like honestly, like it couldn't have gone worse if we tried to go worse.
No, I know. And trust me, we will reveal all, warts and all. Yeah, because I think it's important. Transparency is key, and that's a lesson that we can learn. But it's honestly, mate, it was one of the great. It's probably a career worst day. Let's be honest for this podcast. Career worst.
Yeah,
and that's saying something because we've been fucked by, let's say, like leader biases or us just like failing to identify the right horses, which you could say all of that like occurred yesterday and then some. But I guess our failure was the failure for the people, and that wasn't our intention. We went in with full confidence.
We want to personally be responsible for moving the needle for the Ned's checkbook in a negative direction. Like, we want to be personally responsible for their liability going through the roof because we're just having an absolute fill up, and the pot partakers are walking away with quadruple the money they started with. That's what we want. That's what we want. Like, and at this stage, you know the saying, losers have meetings, winners have parties. Our calendar's fucking booked out with meetings. It's booked out. There's no parties in sight.
No, and
diabolical.
And like the thing is like I don't even think we're going that bad. That's the really frustrating part. Is like last week.
I had a fill up last week. I had a
quaddie.
fill up.
I was all over Sir Delius. Like that would have been.
I was all over Royal Supremacy at tens.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Like
it was
it's
a fill
just. But anyway, we need to address the elephant in the room yesterday, and that was just drifters, punters. We apologise for the last time. This will be the last time that we apologise for our performance for yesterday. But we are, for those of you who are a glutton for punishment, there will be future pots in future weeks, but we're going to be working on a bit of a give back initiative as well. So Yeah, we might reveal that at the end of this podcast, or even on
Yeah.
our preview podcast on Thursday, rather, or Wednesday this week.
Yeah, Wednesday. If you're a masochistic sick fuck, and like you said, if you're a glutton for punishment, there's more to come this weekend. On Everest Day, which is typically, let's be fair, it's typically a pretty good day for the two of us. Mate, the sun will shine on us again. We will have our time in the sun again. It's not all dark and gloomy. I think the other thing we need to address as well is there was some dialogue around winners that we were posting on our socials that were not pot bets, and that's fair enough. So just to clear up any confusion, if anyone's hate listening to this right now, which is fair enough, you can hate listen. So one of us does Melbourne form, and the other does Sydney form. Do we do form on both? Yes, absolutely. But when it comes to the pot bets, one of us makes the call for Victorian races ultimately, and the other makes the call for New South Wales races. The guy who makes the Victorian calls was as good as a handbrake as you'll ever see yesterday. I was getting $1.60 pops beat left, right and centre. Favourite bashing, and roughies would win, and then I'd jump on a roughie and the favourite would win. So it was just one of those days, and apologies if it does look like we're taking the piss a little bit with wins on the socials, but not you having them as pot bets. So I get the optics of that. Our apologies, but yeah, trust me, the bets in the pot were the ones that I was having myself. So I too had a shit day yesterday.
Oh, mate, I second everything you say, and that's a lesson learned for myself as well. But it's and everything you said about the Victorian bets, like you could say even more for the Sydney bets, because I think I think a few of them ran last in the pot bets. So, but we will uncover that. But honestly, like if you like. The receipts are there on our profiles as well. You can see the damage that was done, like from our personal bets as well. Sure, one or two might have got up that were outside the pot bets, but it was in comparison insignificant compared to the rest of the day. So, yes, we pulled the trigger. I think everyone got $7 back. So that's it is what it is. But we do have some upcoming pots. They will be shared on your local Neds app in due course. We will be, buyer beware, obviously, gamble responsibly. But I think that's enough about that. Let's get into the damage.
Yep.
The gross ramage. All right. Fuck it. Let's start in Melbourne. So, what we have here? Like Point Barrow was a good winner. Came from nowhere. She's a good filly.
Point Barrow is good. Yeah, she is a good filly. And that stable, you're right. They're just when they have something in the market like that, I think they're pretty reliable. The Freeman stable. I thought she was good. I thought Surf's Up was great as well. The Ingham Silks filly. I'm assuming she'll probably be going to that Derby Day race, the Carbine.
Carbine Club, I reckon. Yeah.
Is that a 1,400 metre race?
It's a mile. So
it's a mile race. Right?
You basically have in there, I reckon, horses that clearly were unlucky or that aren't Derby horses from the Caulfield Guineas. Basically horses that don't run out the gloaming distance as well, and then horses like this that are coming through different form references. The only thing is it is 1,200 metres up to the mile, and Derby Day's about 3 weeks away, so might be too condensed potentially. Might be a autumn filly, but from the draw, upside there. But Point Barrow, mate, I think I had a bet on her. I had a bet on her yesterday, but also had a bet on her at Moonee Valley, and where she missed. She's probably the best blue point I've ever seen.
Yeah, she is a blue point. I think it just goes to show that when the race is set up the right way that you can launch from the back. But I think it was probably, advantageous to be on speed yesterday, we'll say.
Yeah, and again, a lot of that is
in Caulfield.
Majority of the time. Majority of the time. And, you could definitely make ground. It's just, if it's set up to do so from a tempo perspective, I think the wind picked up throughout the day as well. So, you got to take all those things into consideration. Now, the Herbert Power was race 3. First pop bet, Scary, ran 7th out of 11. Beaten 2.3 lengths. Thought his run was fine. Not the best ride. Far cry from his Mornington run, the start prior where he was on speed.
Yeah, it was a questionable ride, I'd say. It's hard when you don't draw a gate, but at the same time, just the riding was on the wall last start. Use a bit of petrol to try and sit in that first third with him, because we know he'll stay the distance. So that was disappointing, but his price seemed too good to be true, and it turns out it was. Braden Starr. So this horse, he pops up once a prep. You know what I mean? He pops up once a prep and can jag a win like this. So that was clearly the day yesterday, but he wasn't one that I was looking at.
Yeah, and looking at the racing.com sectionals figures, they've gone 23 lengths below standard. So that's why I thought they'd take a bit of a chance, because that's what you see in these middle distance, in these staying contests. They're devoid of pace. And Scary, who has an elite staying prowess, I thought he'd be on speed, just basically making it tough for him. Yeah. And that's where Braden Starr was. Plymouth was just behind him, Whiskey on the Hill, arguably a little bit unlucky, but, it is what it is, move on. Braden Starr was good, but, yeah, it is what it is. Now, the Cadillacs Vars, 1,600 metres Group 3 for the mares at set weights and penalties. O2 Good was, frankly, dog shit when we saw her at the Valley. Bounced back big time. The Valley just might not have been her track, but, mate, Kevin Daffy, I think this is the only horse in his stable. So,
yeah,
great to see. Group 3 winner, $2.70. Market loved her. See what I see, the kind of led up this field, and then she does what she does. If she doesn't win, she kind of just goes out of the picture, goes out of the frame a little bit.
Yeah, it was a bit disappointing. I thought Craig actually rode it pretty well. I don't think he used too much of her. So interesting to see what the stable says. It was a pretty firm deck yesterday, and it was a hot day, so that doesn't suit all horses. But yeah, she was disappointing, and there was a bit of money for her as well.
Yeah, nothing in the stewards report, and they went 8 lengths below standard as well, where, if I'm looking at it, to the 800 metres, there were 7.7 lengths below standard. So I think Craig rode her, the best, best chance to win, I believe. So, it just wasn't meant to be. Race 5 was not a pop bet, and thank God, because King Zephyr at $1.65 got knocked off by Zoo Sensation, who I gave a little bit of a case for if there was a danger. Back in grade, good draw. Benny Allen in those silks. Guess the JD. Guess the JD at $4.80, but King Zephyr was good. I think you just keep him to the big tracks, big straight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I thought Benny Allen just rode the race too well and just didn't give anything else a chance. King Zephyr, I don't think he loses any admirers. He was making ground, he just left it too late. No, it was a nice win by Zoo Sensation, and I think that's him. This is his sort of race.
King Zephyr can run some time. He's run the 6 fastest last 600, 6 fastest last 400, and the 7th fastest last 200 of the meeting. So I think he can rattle them off, and that's why he goes around at a short quote. His racing style might be against him, especially when he steps up in distance, but 1,400 metres in future. Could he stretch out to a mile? I'm just thinking, what's Like, what's in his wheelhouse?
What's
in
the
the
race
future?
for?
Yeah.
Yeah, he how old is he? Is he 5-year-old gelding?
Yep.
Yeah, he's lightly raced. That was only his 10th start, and he's figured in the placings every start bar one. So he's clearly a horse with serious talent. I think you try him at a mile handicap race, maybe in the autumn. Maybe you try him in a Donny or something like that. I don't know.
I reckon, well, the majority of his runs have been over that. Like, so his career stats, he's won at 1,200 metres once, 1,300 metres 3 times, and 1,400 metres twice. So, you know, I think he's probably more of a sprinter. The race for him in the autumn will be a Newmarket Handicap, I believe. That's a good race for him. Down the straight, plenty of room, condensed field.
Maybe he's a Stradbroke horse.
He could be a Stradbroke horse. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. Well, we've seen the Stradbroke form be very good again yesterday. Unfortunately. If I was to tell you that Globe would be a Group 1 at weight for age level over 2,000 metres winner at any point on this podcast, what would you say?
If it wasn't like after like his first couple of runs where he was super, like if you said it to me then, I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe I could see that. But no, not based on his work over the last 2 years. But, you know, Blake on 4-horse race. He knew where he was going to be. He was incredibly well placed in hindsight. And they asked Mick Price. They said, "Was this the plan?" He was like, "No, this wasn't the plan." But I know that this race has a history of popping up results. This and the Underwood, Mick Price said. And I saw that there was only going to be a few horses going to this race, and I thought, you know what? Could be worse ways to pick up some prize money. So like, yeah, it is what it is. I don't know what to do with the race. Like yesterday, but also like in general, because it's just that extra 2,000 metre race in the spring Group 1 that we don't really need, but it's been butchered by the Hill Stakes in Sydney as well. So I don't know what they do with it. I was just really disappointed because I wanted to see Treasure of the Moment just back to her best, but I don't think there's question marks on her is she going to be the horse that she was meant to be this prep because of the colic? I think it's more like the last 2 races are just not a good enough guide or gauge on her. Like I think the jury's out because she needs a fast run race, and and I wanted to be in a race with like, you know, at least 8 horses maybe. Like that'd be nice. But it's just disappointing because I thought she was going to balance up and then breeze past Globe, but she didn't. And Damien Lane said he was disappointed, and she laboured, and so did Matt Laurie, the trainer. So I don't know where she's at. Yeah, it was just a weird race and a bit disappointing.
Very disappointing. And I think you're right. I think back-to-back 4-horse fields, nothing else to take her into the race either. She's doing the donkey work behind these leaders. I think I don't think that can be understated. I don't think that's her jam, and she probably did a little bit of that in her 3-year-old year, but she's clearly so much better than all of those that she faced. Like some of those are featuring in benchmark 70 races at 50-1 shots. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah,
who she's beaten isn't necessarily that good to date, but she did prove that she can step up in the Memsey, setback, tactical races. You're probably going to be getting, if they still head towards a Cox Plate, you're going to get a better price for one. And two, you're going to get probably the most accurate reading of where she's at. So I still think she's a top 3 chance in a Cox Plate. Makes it very difficult with... Well, here's a question. So last 2 runs from her have arguably been quite disappointing. And the last 2 runs from Via Sistina have been very disappointing as well. So of the 2 mares there, who would you rather take into a Cox Plate?
Oh, that's a great question. I still think Via Sistina because the body of work and she hasn't had a setback. She's just a bit of an older mare. Via Sistina. The other thing I'm thinking about as well, just to sort of temper my disappointment a little bit after the debacle yesterday, like she beat Buckaroo easily, and Buckaroo has had a good prep. You know what I mean? So if he zoomed past her, Buckaroo, and won the race or nearly beat Globe, then you're thinking to yourself, fuck, where's Treasure at? But he didn't, so that makes me think as well that, okay, this race is it was just set up perfectly for Globe, and it's just an anomaly. And a similar sort of thing happened with Pride of Jenny and the Fian. So, yeah, I think Treasure absolutely should go to a Cox Plate. I think so. I think if she's sound and working well, then why not? No, but it's setting up better and better for Sir Delius, isn't it?
I think so. So basically, you sit and sprint, and you could see this. So I think Globe. I think he basically went like, "Hey, bruh, I'm controlling this out in front," and then he definitely eased up a bit for sure. And then Blake
Absolutely
was
did.
like, basically from the 800, I'd say he was like, "All right, lad, let's go." So the middle part of the race, from the 8 to the 4, was actually 3 lengths above standard at this level. So I think that he was going a pretty decent clip, and then he just put 4 or 5 lengths on the field, and he was like, "Catch me if you can," and it was just too much. And it was honestly, it just would be PTSD. So I think that's the last time you'll see Treasure in the Moment in a 4-horse field. Let's put it that way. And mate, I'd should touch on full honours to Globe, Blake Shin, arguably the bride of the day. With that, and the one that really puzzled me was Buckaroo, because it looked like he had never been at Caulfield before. He was laying in on Treasure in the Moment rather, and then he just looked like he had an off day. And if he's one of the more fancy local chances in a Caulfield Cup, you can have him for that race.
Man, he hasn't won since the Underwood last year. He can run on a bit, Buckaroo.
Well, it's we have this opinion as well, right? And I think you really, unless you're an absolute freak, you have one shot at a Melbourne Cup, and then it's basically career done. Very Elegant was an absolute freak, but she still wasn't the same horse after that, despite winning. She won a Winx Stakes first run back after a Melbourne Cup, didn't she? That is unbelievable. Not Winx, but whatever it was.
Like an Apollo or some shit.
Anyway. But you see, Buckaroo hasn't been the same. Zardozi hasn't been the same either. We see it time and time again. It's like, all right, your chips in for this race. And because it takes them a while to come back, if they come back at all. So Buckaroo, for me, you can kind of have him as well. Okay, let's have a look at the Toorak. Oh, this one was a bit frustrating. Transatlantic Queensland has been on an absolute tear, and we didn't really pick that up and have it won. Transatlantic, we left him out of the quaddie, and that was more my decision than yours. I know you were kicking up for him. So that's a burden that I have to carry with me. But then the pop bet Seeples ran last.
Oh, we could put a handbrake on anything. We could put a handbrake on anything yesterday. Imagine if we also bet on King Zephyr and Treasure of the Moment.
Oh, and Mahuna and fucking Farnacle. Or the other one that I didn't mind in that. Yeah. Oh, I had a bet on Estremo in that race. But let's put it this way. We could have burnt through the kitty a lot quicker.
We could have. But yeah, Transatlantic was good. It was a good ride from Mark. I've backed Transatlantic 2 out of 3 times this prep, and he won the one time that I wasn't on him. Seeples, he was like galloped on, and he got shuffled back in the run. So that's a complete forgive, and just, you know, put a line through it. If he's okay and if he's sound, take him to a Golden Eagle, because he'd be a top 3 chance there, absolutely. So that's just forget about it, that race, like, for me, because he just didn't look like winning from as soon as he got sort of shuffled back and he got hit. So is what it is. Transatlantic was good. Evaporate, probably a little bit unlucky. He was slow out of the gates, and like a Lucy, get it to Flemington.
Yeah, good shout. I think Empire Rose is in her future, I believe. So, I think we learned a couple of things about. There was 3 setback horses on the weekend that ran, and all of them ran second, actually. So, Treasure of the Moment, Evaporate had a setback as well, and Gringotts had a setback, and they all ran second on the weekend. Now, I think you could, like, Evaporate won after his setback. So I think Evaporate and had about 6 weeks in between runs, and Gringotts had about the same. So there might be a little bit of a learning there. It's like maybe they rushed Treasure of the Moment back a little bit, maybe a little bit, but also the race shape and what have you wasn't really set up for her. Because I thought, mate, full credit to Lindsay Park. That was a very good performance. Like 58 kilos. He wasn't in the position where he usually is. He's usually on pace. Came rattling home, just missed.
He's a good, honest horse, Evaporate. I think he's a 4-year-old gelding. Like, if he's doing this now, and if he's in that Mr. Brightside sort of mould that Lindsay Park have, you know, I think he can be a weight for age miler, absolutely. As he gets older and older. So, I thought he was good. Who else in the race do I sort of want to take out of it?
Lazura.
That's probably it.
You take Lazura, like, she's what we learnt for sure yesterday. She's not a miler, despite the weight and everything. But I don't think she's not at this company. She's not a miler.
I don't think so. I think she'll be taken to a Golden Eagle, though. I think 1,500 metres suits her better at home. But yeah, I think she's a 1,400 metre horse for mine.
I think the other key to her, I think, is wet ground. I think she appreciates wet ground more than most as well.
Yeah.
I think that's similar. Maybe it's even similar to like a broadsiding. Improves a couple of lengths and maybe just holds her form on good tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. Gee, Seeples jumped at $2.60 with the good people at Neds. The market,
mate,
market loved him.
I know. And so I think the pot got on at about $3. So, you know, we got the overs, but the overs ran last. And then, had invested in a quaddie. Quaddie gets knocked out first leg. My top selection for Roche ran third last at 13-1, so he was no good, but, you know, it is what it is. Caulfield Guineas. Autumn Boy, just like his daddy, getting the job done.
Runs like his daddy.
You were keen on the Golden Rose form?
Yeah. I just because it was like by default, you should be more than anything else, which is why when Woden was favourite, I was like, yeah, that makes sense because he ran second in the form race and he's been running well all prep. But he was disappointing. I watched the replay and Damien Lane gave Autumn Boy a peach, hey?
Oh yeah, really good ride.
The reason why I did probably have Autumn Boy on top, it's just because of his run in the Golden Rose. I thought he was entitled to finish off better, but first time blinkers and he was sort of wide the trip, like whatever. Classic Chris Waller, you know, just gets him to peak at the right time, but he brained him, and so did Planet Red.
Yeah. I think Planet Bread's been at I have to remind myself. I believe that horse has been racing at like Moonee Valley and the like, hasn't it? So maybe getting away from the Valley suited a little bit better. That's off the top of my head. His last run, yeah. So he ran third behind a Streamo in the Guineas Prelude, where he was $2.50 favourite that day. So SP profile there. Ran fourth behind Rosberg. Now Rosberg then ran last. The Streamer got knocked off, so it's like good luck if you're finding that form. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Absolutely.
So, but at the same time, he didn't win. So you have that form, and then you have like a Victorian midweek form running third, who Observer, and this is self-interest talking, should have got closer, a lot closer.
Yeah. He looks like a smart colt, Observer. I think he's probably like an Australian Guineas type of colt.
I think they're talking Derby
for him. Oh, right,
Yep.
okay. Who's he out of?
That's a good question. He is out.
He's a
of Gaiath, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good
out
shout.
Out of a Lonhro mare, so has some middle distance pedigree there.
Nice. So the wash up of this race, Observer, well found by you, ran well. Autumn Boy for mine, so lightly raced. He's won a Caulfield Guineas. He's won it well. I doubt Chris Waller will take him to a Cox Plate because Chris just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get his colts beat, which is a shame because I think he could run a good 2,000 metres. Vinrock into fourth. I think that's him. I think Vinrock's that's him. If he drew a better gate, maybe he finishes top three. I don't think he wins. I think that's him, and I don't think we'll see him maybe post this race ever again. I think he'll be doing his stuff at stud. Nepotism's the same. Oh, he's just not interested in racing. Disappointing. Rivellino is just not that good. Wotan, clearly not a miler.
Just on Rivellino, I think the writing's on the wall for me. I remember Chris Lee saying at the start of the prep that Rivellino had not put on any weight in the off-season. And so to me, because he was probably the most raced 2-year-old, and who knows if that has anything to do with it, but sometimes he probably was just at his girth and size that he needed to be as a 2-year-old, and that's why he was running so well. I think the other horses have clearly gone past him in terms of 2-year-old talent. So yeah, I think the connections would he still ran into the money yesterday. They collected $60,000 for running 8th there yesterday. He won a Millennium, ran super as a 2-year-old, so out of the casino with him, I would have thought, and he'll be running in benchmark 90s soon, I would have thought.
I wonder what Coolmore will do with Wotan, because clearly he's the pin-up 3-year-old colt for Coolmore, and that'd be just so desperate to get him some black type to try and a G1 win to justify him as a stallion. But if he's retired to stud, what's the commercial interest? He's a son of Wooten Bassett. He's placed in a lot of big Group 1 races, but he's not a winner. So what do they do?
So there's always 2 or 3 that go to the Coolmore after this. I think the horses from this race, I could see Vinrock having a go at a Coolmore if they don't pull the pin. I reckon Navy Pilot will 100% go there. I don't think he ran out the mile. I could see Wotan going there too. And maybe something like a State Cosmic or something, but we'll be running at triple figures. What we need to start doing lay of the days on our previews. because, I would have said this, but I was so cold on Wotan in this race, and I honestly couldn't believe the market support for him. $2.80, mate, for a maiden winner. Like, he's won one race in his career and that was on soft 7 ground, where he hasn't done anything on good ground of note. And it was a good 3 yesterday. Caulfield first time. Like, give me a spell. It's just that is the ultimate J-Mac tax I've ever seen.
Yeah. Coolmore, Chris Waller, J-Mac. But no, yeah. You're dead right. And all honours to Autumn Boy. I wonder if we'll see him pass his 3-year-old year.
Hope so. Like, not all of them can go to stud. Like, what do you do with Wotan? It's a good question. I don't know. Like,
Newmarket Handicap, they'll try and win something like that. You know what I mean?
Newmarket, yeah. What else is there? Maybe like the Arrowfield next year. Like a round with Guineas. I don't know. Like, and not Australia Guineas. Maybe it needs a bit more room. Like, maybe Flemington will be up his alley. But I don't know. Like, you can have him for mine. We didn't even talk about your pot bet. So this was Romantic Encounter, second to West of Swindon. West of Swindon ran 9th and Romantic Encounter ran 12th. This was one of those, right? Because we had two bets in the race at over 20s. Mine was Observer, yours was Romantic Encounter. You have preferential, like, executive order when it's in Victoria.
Yeah,
simple as that.
That's a perfect example.
Yep.
and the coin flips the wrong way.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately.
And yeah, it is what it is. The damage keeps going. Race 9, Tropicus gets mown down by, who was that? Giga Kick. Mate, is Giga Kick officially back? Like, what are we talking about?
Mate, that was the Giga Kick of old by the looks of it. I just wanted to see it first after not being winless in his last 12 starts or something like that. Not 12 starts, like 12 months or whatever. I don't know. He obviously has that ability. I just thought it was gone after the injury, which was such a shame. Like, he was going to be our dominant sprinter, for 2 or 3 years, and he's pulled a hammy. I can relate. Gee, he was first up over 1,100 meters.
Dynamic.
That's the Giga Kick of old, and take him to a champion sprint. He's right in the money.
Holy shit. His last win before that yesterday was 126 weeks ago.
2 years.
No, that's 2.5 years.
Oh,
so
yeah,
his
true.
last win, we were there, it was Dermot 10,000.
Oh, wow.
That was his last win. But to be fair, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was his 8th run since then in 2.5 years. So clearly he hasn't been right.
So that was his first win since he was a 3-year-old. Now he's a 6-year-old gelding.
So he's a 3-year-old back then? 2023 winter.
Oh, yeah, he would have been
Yeah.
3-year-old.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
What could have been? But hey, he's 6. He's lightly raced. He could go for another couple of years. Giga Kick. It was a good win. Tropicus was good. He just got mowed down by a better horse.
Mate, Tropicus, what was this? Was this a Group 2? Maybe he's a Group 3 sprinter. And that's fine.
Nothing wrong with that.
Does Giga Kick get the final slot in the Everest?
Wouldn't look out of place based off that run. Like, I know we're hyping it up, but we haven't seen him do that since he was a 3-year-old.
But mate, who else takes the slot?
Well, is it you wrong?
Yeah, yeah. And they already have Magic Time and
Angel Capital.
Angel Capital in the race. So
he wouldn't look out of place in an Everest kit. I think they should
wear the away colours for one day, the Yulong strip. Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Have we seen him on the quick backup? I reckon we might have. I reckon that's like ringing in my ear that we've seen kick on a quick backup before. Anyway.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I reckon he'd be suited. So yeah, Tropicus was disappointing for the pot. And then back-to-back seconds with Gummy Gumdrops getting just, couldn't quite get there to She's Bulletproof.
Gummy Gumdrops. When was the last time J-Mac went winless in 2 weekends in Melbourne?
Nah, I reckon he did the exact same thing in the spring. Came down for Cox Plate Day, won that, and then he went down for Derby Day for the Flemington week and just had 15 winners or something.
He's such a prick.
You know what? I reckon he needs because I fully anticipate, right, that if he had the choice and it was his sole choice to make, he would have been on Autumn Boy and not Wotan. I fully believe that. Because I just don't. If I can see that Wotan's not that good, fucking James McDonald can. What are we talking about? And I'm pretty sure James wrote him up here, so he would have written both of them a fair bit, even if it's a track work or whatever. Maybe he just needs the Autumn Sun at Caulfield, mate. You know what I mean? That caliber of horse to actually get a winner at Caulfield.
Yeah, maybe. I agree with you. I reckon he would have preferred to have been on Autumn Boy, the son of a gun, the son of the autumn son of a gun, Autumn Boy. It was a disappointing day for your boy. The victim picked the winner in the first, and I thought, here we fucking go.
But the pot wasn't on, mate.
No, I know, stupid.
And the pot wasn't on because we only put the bets on that we were more confident in. Now, to be fair, we did save a bit of cash not doing that, but we also, we didn't pick up any cash. I should have said something about Point Barrow. That's what we should have done. Should have had a bet on Point Barrow, even if it wasn't for the full 10K. But that's all right.
That's all right. Look, I think in terms of, I think it's my worst day as as a friend of the Victorian victim, despite the fact that I won, I had a winner. There's been days where I haven't picked a winner. I still think it's my worst because since that winner, there was 2 shockers in a row, 3 shockers in a row. Let's be honest, and then King Zephyr second at $1.20, Treasure of the Moment second at $1.05. I've got Seeples beaten into last. Guineas I wouldn't probably even include, just because I was I don't know who wins this race. I'm just chucking a roughie. And then I get Tropicus to run second, and then Gummy Gumdrops to run second. It was, and these are all bets that I was keen on. See what I see as well. Sorry, throwing into that. It was a I hate horse racing day. It was not good.
Maybe we need to change allegiances. Maybe I become mates with the Victorian victim and you become mates with the Sydney Source, because here's the Sydney Source reading. Fan Harder in the Highway running fourth, into Harry's Bar in the Midway running third, into Vega Magnifico running third in probably the worst benchmark 78 you've ever seen, into Mahuna, who you might recall on the Thursday rather, the preview podcast, we were both thinking that she was the best bet in Sydney. for whatever reason, and maybe it was divine intervention, but I got the biggest case of cold feet I've ever had, and stayed clear. And thank goodness we did. Mahuna ran third into a streamo who we were potting on the podcast, but I somehow came back to him because I wasn't keen on Farnacle. Just diabolical. He ran third. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 thirds in a row, 4 thirds in a row, and a fourth, and then it's just diabolical after that. Mate, Freddie Bassett ran 10th, but Freddie was, nearly 30 to 1.
Hey, the victim played north of the border and had a bet on the half brother of Storm Boy, Shangri-La Boy. He was good.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, Pot doesn't care. And then you get into the real bad stuff in the quaddy legs. Bohemia, who was actually looming up on the fence, didn't get a run at him, and then ran last. I thought, surely too bad to be true. Nothing in the stewards report, so that's good. Into Lindemann in hindsight was very obvious. It's even frustrating because I was warming to Kingswood. I've seen Kingswood. I've made this call about Kingswood previously. I don't think he gets on his Sydney leg at all. And in this company, he probably can't. I was kicking up for Mason Louis at $26, and he runs third. That's an each-way bet. And then Headley Grange, franked that Newcastle form. Gringotts was good. But, O'Diamond Lil, who gets a run, she runs last. And then in the last, we pulled up stunts by them, but Amazing Eagle had that market support, ran fifth, first up.
Polyglot was mine and ran third.
Yeah,
it was just...
Rosalind Star into $1.90. You can kind of have that. So there was a few shorties there at Rose Hill. Just not our day, and
no.
I have full expectation that we'll turn it around. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The sun will shine on us again. We just need to get through all these losers meetings this week and start having some more parties like winners.
Yeah.
No, I fully expect that we'll bounce back. It's just probably going to be on a day that we're not hosting a pot.
Well, I don't know. We'll check with the good people at Ned's, but I believe it could be next week. It could be the week after. It could be Derby Day. It could be Champions Day. We could be 4 in a row.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Should we tease what we're thinking? I reckon we should tease.
Yeah, I think so. I'll just say this is a peace offering.
The peace offering is we will be putting up a $500 gift card of your choice if you are to be the winner of the day. So you might ask, hey, how can I win? When can I win? Well, if Neds have us back for another hosted pod, we will be putting this up as a second chance draw almost. So basically, what we'll do is we'll send out a tipping sheet. I'd say we'll do the entire card in Sydney and in Melbourne for that respective weekend. We'll iron out the details. If you tip something in double figures, you'll get double points. But basically a 3-2-1. So three points for first, 2 for second, 1 for third. If you tip something in double figures and it runs second or third, you only get 2 or 1 point for that. Double points only apply for winners because that's, believe it or not, what we actually deal with on this podcast. So we'll be doing that. So if we are doing pots for the next 4 weeks, we'll have 4 $500 gift cards organised of your choice over the next 4 weeks.
Yes, so this is a peace offering. This is our way of saying, look, we appreciate you participating. We are trying to win you a fortune. If it doesn't turn out that way, we're going to put up some of our own hard-earned If you yourself have a good day on the punt and you're picking winners and placings left, right, and centre, you got a good chance to pick up that check as well. So, we'll iron out the finer details this week, but I'm assuming that'll probably go live once we've spoken to the people we need to speak to, well and truly before next weekend. Sorry.
Yes. So we'll have an update on our preview podcast. It will be a day earlier this week. It will be on a Wednesday, just because yours truly is heading to Sydney on Thursday. Just having a chat to J-Mac, Chris, and the team down there, just to see what's what. Actually, you know what? I'll be talking to the Waterhouse Bot stable, going like, "Hey guys, just bring him to fucking Melbourne. He'll win the Caulfield Cup." But I doubt they'll do that in Sir Delius. But yeah, we'll have an update on the Wednesday podcast, and keep an eye on our Instagram. That's probably the best way to keep updated with all this. And if we get the green light, we'll give an update in the Neds app as well.
Yep. Good shit.
All right. Thanks for sticking with us, Drifters. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thanks to the believers. Keep believing.